like, I act like my feelings are hurt when I come in and you mute it, like when I come in, and like, I'm like, oh, you're embarrassed at me and stuff like that. I've said that before, right?
Yeah.
But I get it. Here's the thing. It's not about, I don't think, you being embarrassed of me. I think it's that I've embarrassed you so many times, like just coming in and be like, Micah, and then just like screaming, yelling, stuff like that. And if you're in the middle of a game trying to get a dub, the last thing that your teammates want to hear is some goofy dude coming in there and just attacking you verbally or like giving you hugs or whatever. So this is different for me. This is super different for me because I've had a chance to talk to students that I've had before in class.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to talk to a previous coworker. I talked to teachers, coaches. I've talked to Melinda a few times, and I've talked to people at the park, students that are going into kindergarten, pre-K, elementary school, intermediate. But this is definitely different. So I'm not going to beat around the bush and talk about this too much longer without introducing you. So people that have watched the podcast episodes or people that just know us, right? The Innis family, like they know you. They know you. So this is my son, Micah, Micah Innis. He is he's a great kid. So one thing that I've also been trying to get better at is giving you opportunity to kind of talk about yourself. So because I can do that. I'm your dad, obviously, but tell everyone else like what it is about you. Like, describe yourself.
So I don't know. I just think that I like to play video games a lot. And I work at Brookshire's over at Whitney. That's what I'm usually doing after school. And I'm going to start power washing soon after school, so that's going to be something.
Yeah, what grade are you going into?
I'm a senior this year.
He is a senior this year. So, we obviously know this, me and you and our family, like I'm horrible with like ages and dates and stuff like that. I mess my age up all the time. I mess Melinda's age up all the time. So like, I know you're 16, you're about to be 17 because today is like the 20th or 19th. Yeah. So like just a few more days, right? So just a few more days because your birthday's on the 25th, correct?
25th?
Man, it's the 23rd, man. I knew this the whole time. I was just kidding you. See, and that's my thing too, is like, that's not the first time that I've like messed up dates. And like, I literally thought I had it right the whole time. But for those people that don't know, it's kind of unique that we talk about this in our family. So Christy, Annie,
yeah.
So I have a sister that has a son. So my nephew Maddox and Micah, they switched due dates. Okay, so they switched due dates. So me and Micah's mother, she got pregnant and the same time as Annie did. Basically the same exact time. So when the doctors, like, they gave due dates and stuff like that, they gave you a due date of August 15th and they gave Maddox a due date of August 23rd. So like, to me, like, again, I'm not great with dates, but whatever I pick up on that 5. I knew that there was a 5. Like, that's why I said the 25th. Like, yeah. I knew that. I knew that there was a 5 somewhere involved in that whole situation, but it was the 15th. So you were supposed to be born on the 15th. He was supposed to be born on the 23rd, and y'all switched due dates. So he was born first. He's older. He was born on the 15th of August, and you were born on the 23rd. So again, like, it has nothing to do with me not loving you and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. But no, like, it's just the dates and stuff like that. I would not have remembered Melinda's birthday if she hadn't asked me to go pick up her prescription a few times at Walmart, because you have to give the date of birth. And then I remember the first time they're like, date of birth, and I was like, July 17th, 1982. And then they were like, we don't have a Melinda under that. And I'm like, yeah, that's my birthday. And they were like, what's her birthday? And I'm like, yep. Give me a second. And then I pick up the phone and I call and I apologize to Melinda. And like, I used to do that all the time. I used to apologize all the time for not remembering dates and stuff like that, because like, it hurts people's feelings. Like, I think that don't understand, like, it's not me not wanting to remember. It's just something I'm not great at.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so you're a senior, you're about to be 17 years old. You got a lot going on. So video games, you talked about video games, and that's interesting, because I always find that people talk about the thing that they're most into kind of currently, or like they have been most of their life, that's the first thing they talk about. So video games, absolutely. So what video games are y'all up into?
So whenever I play with my friends, I usually play like Rocket League, Rainbow Six Siege, sometimes like Minecraft, rarely, but I don't know. Those are like the main ones.
Minecraft. So, like I never got into that. I think I was too old, and then like whenever it came out, and then like it was marketed to like kids, like younger kids and stuff like that, because of the cartoony aspect of it. But no, I always got into the shooters. You know that. We play Call of Duty. Like I used to make fun of you for Fortnite. And then I started playing it. I started playing it with Justin and Brian. So no, that's hilarious. So man, like, so Rocket League. So I know what games you're talking about. Obviously, like I've never played it, but I watch you play it a lot. What's the fascination? Because like I get it, it's like soccer. There's cars involved. So what's the fascination? Why that game?
I don't know. I think I just look into it like a competitive aspect because I'm like kind of better at it. So I'm trying to get to the point where I can go into like tournaments and stuff. But I've also really enjoyed the game and like watching pros play it.
That's so crazy though. Like back in my day. So I did have a day back in my day. Well, Nintendo was the thing. You know what I mean? That came out when I was, I don't even know. I don't want to lie. 1986. So I was like 4 or 5, something like that. I think 1986. That sounds right. But anyway, so that was the thing. And online didn't exist. The internet was not something that was around. You know what I mean? So if there was gaming tournaments, like if you've seen one of these old video games, I think it's called The Wiz or The Wizard. It's like a Nintendo tournament, you know what I mean? Or, Pixels, the movie Pixels.
Yeah.
At the beginning, whenever they have that short guy and what was his name? Something. Oh my gosh, now.
No clue.
Oh my gosh, now I'm going to freak out because I can't know his name. Oh, it was like Blaster or something like that.
I know it starts with that, I think.
Yeah, Blaster. Oh, see, watch. Here in a little bit, we're going to be talking about something different. I'm going to be like, oh, that. And I'm going to say Blaster or whatever it was. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got to stop thinking about that. But anyways, back in the day, that was like pros, right? You had to travel somewhere, probably like here. I never went to one of them, but probably like Dallas or something like that, to a big convention center, and they set up all the games and TVs and all that kind of stuff, and you just go one-on-one versus somebody. But there was no like getting your name out there if you were the best. You know what I mean? Like a magazine, if that, you might have made it to a magazine, but there was no internet. There was no who's number one today. You know what I mean? It was who's number one the only time it was ever played in a tournament. You know what I mean? So, no, that's really cool. And I know that we've talked before in the past, like you've done tournaments before in the past, but I don't know if they weren't Rocket League. I remember it was one of the shooter games, right? Mm-hmm. Which one was it? Or which ones was it?
I used to do some in Call of Duty a little bit.
Call of Duty. So was that the multiplayer aspect, or was that like the Warzone or whatever?
It was Warzone.
Warzone. Okay. I think I might have done something, but I never played for money or anything like that. It was just like kind of like they did a special event or something over the weekend, and it was some kind of tournament or something. So
yeah.
Gotcha. So is that kind of what it was, or did you have to like pay to get in?
I didn't have to pay to get in, but we ended up winning a little bit. It was like 100 split.
And that's cool, man. That's cool. Like, and the only way that they are able to do that is because like they can market it. You know what I mean? Like they can do like advertisements of some kind to help give that little money, as a the person that wins, the team that wins or whatever. So
yeah.
Cool. So Rocket League, but you were playing Rainbow Six Siege. I've seen you play it not as much as the other games for sure. Like definitely Rust. Like I've seen you playing that more. So is that like? And I know that you said the games, but which one's the one you play the most? Like most hours that you put into it?
I think it used to be Rust, but I took a break from it. It just kind of got boring. Yeah.
It does that. Like, and I think that's why Fortnite's lasted so long, because they do all those seasons quicker. You know what I mean? Or like, It just seems like they have a good marketing strategy. They change it up, they mix it up, but still people get tired of Fortnite all the time, but it's like think of another game that's been the Fortnite. You know what I mean? There's not been one. I mean, Call of Duty, but Call of Duty has so many different ones. You know, Black Ops, World Wars, and all that kind of stuff. They've been around forever, but there's a whole bunch of different ones. Whereas Fortnite, it's basically the same game. They just keep altering it a little bit and changing it for the different seasons or whatever you want to call it. So it's a way for them to make money. You already know it's a way for them to make money. So then they can get people to buy the battle pass and all that kind of stuff. So they can get, you know, whatever. They can get Deadpool as their character or whatever they are, a bunny, you know, something like that. So I enjoy it because to me, it's social. Like I think that when video games first came out, I know that there was no online play, right? So my parents and a lot of other parents of kids that went through that same time, they didn't want their kids to play video games. Like they didn't, because like all people said was it rots their brains. It makes it where they're not going to be as social, right? They don't interact with people, right? So I think the social aspect was the biggest thing that they said that they didn't want their kids playing video games all day for, because they're like me. I was locked up in a dark room, like in my room, lights off, just video game and just zoned out, zombied out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't barely come out of my room. Whereas now, you don't come out of your room that much, but you're social, dude. Like, I mean, I get like, I act like my feelings are hurt when I come in and you mute it, like when I come in, and like, I'm like, oh, you're embarrassed at me and stuff like that. I've said that before, right? Yeah. But I get it. Here's the thing. It's not about, I don't think, you being embarrassed of me. I think it's that I've embarrassed you so many times, like just coming in and be like, Micah! And then just like scream and yell and stuff like that. And if you're in the middle of a game trying to get a dub, the last thing that your teammates want to hear is some goofy dude coming in there and just attacking you verbally or like giving you hugs or whatever. So I get it, man. I get it. All right. So who do you play with now? So like, I know you play online. Who's like your main squad? Who do you squad with?
I mainly play with like Nathan, Colson, Peyton, Jake, like sometimes Josh, but it's kind of rare. Just like, it's only a few people now, mainly because they're busy.
Cool. So you said some family members in there. So who are the family members? So talk about the different families, because I mean, I get it. Y'all are all one family, but you know, you talked about Cole, right? Didn't you talk about Cole and Gage?
What, just now?
Yeah. Didn't you mention their names?
But I do play with them a little bit.
Oh, okay. Because I know his stuff has changed, like, and you play with different people and stuff like that. But Peyton, right? So who's Peyton?
Peyton Gower.
Okay.
His dad works at like the intermediate.
Okay. Dad works at the intermediate there in Whitney?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And who else did you say? You said, who else did you say? Nathan, right? So Nathan, y'all been friends for quite some time. Like quite some time. So I remember like when y'all were real young, I remember like when y'all played like basketball there in Whitney or whatever, and y'all were like, I don't even know how old y'all were. Do you remember like how old you were when y'all first started kind of playing?
It was like 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, dude. Like that's a long time. Like, and I know that y'all's friendship's grown like over time and stuff like that, you know, because when kids are younger, like, you know, they get to hang out with who's around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, as y'all have gotten older, y'all been to the same school, y'all have been involved in like events and stuff, like y'all share common interests. So y'all been friends for quite some time. So definitely. Who else did you say?
Colson.
So who's Colson?
He's a junior this year. I've been friends with him for like a while. It's mainly through his mom. Like I started talking to him just because her and my mom were friends, but
okay,
we've been friends for a while.
Yeah. Anybody else? I'm like, and my thing is like, I know you listed them all, but I'm trying to like focus on individual ones. Who else?
Jake.
Okay. Yeah. Jake. So who's Jake?
I don't think I had him in kindergarten, but I think we had the same class in first grade, but we've always like been close, and we would always like hang out at each other's house whenever we were younger.
Yeah. And his, like, it's my memory, but his mom owns I
think it's a flowers
shop. garden store. and like I don't even know what you call them, like nursery. There you go, a nursery, kind of like a nursery, right? They have a lot of plants and flowers and stuff like that. And is it? Do you know the name of it? Because I know they changed it. Isn't it like Two Sisters or Sisters or something?
I don't
Man,
know.
now I feel horrible. But yeah, no, it's yeah, no, I've known Jake for quite some time. Y'all been friends for quite some time. So
Yeah.
all right, so like that's what you like to do for the most part is game, right? Like that's a big part of it. Like, and again, it's different now because you still have that social interaction. So like, let's take it away from games. So like when you see these same guys at school, most of them, right? You see most of these same guys at school.
Yeah.
So like, how often do you like? I know the school year just started. Y'all have been at school for like about a week and a half, right? Because y'all didn't start at the same time as us. We started last Wednesday, and you went a whole week before that, right? Or pretty much a whole week.
It was like so not last Thursday, but the one before that.
Okay. So you've got us on, like, you went 4 more days than us because you went Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then we started on a Wednesday. Okay. So do you have any classes with any of your friends?
I have first period with Nathan and Jake, and then all the rest is kind of, I don't think I really have anyone. I mean, I talked to some people there in our grade, but
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I think that's one thing that we kind of share in common. Like I always had like a tight 1 or 2. Like that's just how I was as far as like friends and stuff like that.
yeah.
And I know now that it was more me than it was everybody else, but it was also just that time, you know what I mean? But you have your own time and it's the same thing. But like I had a Cedro, we've talked about a Cedro before, a Cedro Ramos. And before him, I had a guy named Matt that I was friends with, but I didn't have a whole bunch of people, man. It was just like, I kind of fit in with whoever was in the class, hoping that I kind of wouldn't get called out at all to like read or to answer a question or to definitely not go up to the board. You know what I mean? Because the second that I stood up, it was like every hair on my back, arms, everything would just stand up. And it's like, I feel like the world's about to end just because I was so worried about getting made fun of and stuff like that. And again, I think a lot of it was in my head, but maybe not all of it, but it's not easy. Do you have that same kind of thing? Like, the fear of getting called out or being put on the spot?
No, I don't really mind like reading much, but I don't like presenting and stuff up front. It's just kind of weird. I don't know.
Nerve-wracking. Like,
yeah.
I'm really good at it now, and I wasn't. You know what I mean? I remember when I went to Hill College, and that's something cool because we'll talk about in a second. But when I went to Hill College, we had a speech class, and I can't remember the name of my speech teacher. I really can't because I think I had 2 of them. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember one of them. Anyways, so I had a speech teacher, and it was really awkward. Like, he told us at the beginning of the year, they went over the syllabus. Like, in your classes, did they ever go over a syllabus? Like the plan for the year in that class as far as what you're going to learn and what you're going to do and stuff like that?
It's not as common anymore, but yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, it's not as common anymore. It's not. But back then, that was like the first day. Like, it's basically, he goes over the rules. Because I remember it was a male, like the one that I'm remembering. He goes over the rules, tells you what he's gonna do as far as grades, like, you know, a couple tests throughout the year, and then 2 things he said was projects where you have to come up in front of the class and you have to speak. And part of it was, after you speak for, I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes, then the other part was everybody else in the class were required to ask you a question that was thought-provoking, right, about your speech. You know what I mean? That's scary. I had to go up, first of all, and talk in front of all these people. When I say all these people, I mean, we're talking about Hill College. So in that small class, I might have had 15 or 20 students in there. Mm-hmm. And you know what was also nerve-wracking? Do you know, like, for the most part, like, and I say the most part, do you know what a lot of the students, like, go to Hill College? Do you know, like, something that's different about them than, like, what you would be going out there?
No.
They have a lot of athletes out there. And I'm not saying you're not an athlete, but I'm saying athlete like the ones that are playing for Hill College, right?
Yeah.
Basketball, baseball, softball. I'm pretty sure they have volleyball, right? Mm-hmm. Soccer, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? They have a lot of those athletes, and they're not from around here. Not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Yeah. A lot of them are from everywhere, man. When I went out there, I know that they had baseball players from Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? They recruited, they did. And it was like, they said, we're going to give you a full scholarship, right? They're going to pay for all their classes, pay for their books, pay for their dorm, you know, because they have dorms out there. They have little apartment dorms out there.
Yeah.
They would pay for all that. So their education for the first 2 years, and all they had to do was like, come play for them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But for them, those players, like that might have been their only opportunity, or one of their only opportunities, you know what I mean? To kind of make a better life for themselves, or just to go and play for a college, you know? So that was different back then, man. And it's the same way now. Mm-hmm. So I was speaking in front of 6'4" basketball players, right? Yeah, like those kind of dudes, and softball players, baseball players. I remember I was sitting in front of a guy that looked like Billy Bob off of Friday Night. What was that? Varsity Blues. Billy Bob. Yeah, it was like that big boy. And he was a catcher, right? He was a catcher, and he was sitting front row in speech. And I'm just like, yeah, so I went to the beach when I was younger, and we had a great time, and we experienced many things, you know what I mean? And I'm just so robotic and just pouring sweat. So, man, that got me out of my shell, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
But dude, the biggest thing is life, man. It's life, you know, experiencing different things, and a lot of failing. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of going up there, trying it, and then like sitting down in your chair after you talk and just feeling like, man, that was pretty bad, you know, and then beating yourself up. But that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I want to let you know that it's fine. Okay. Everyone does it. And if there's any of them in there that like seem like they're not nervous, you know when you watch them that they are. Mm-hmm. Like they'll even go up there and put this little show on, right? And do these like two little funny things or whatever. But after they do that funny thing, just watch their face. Watch their face. Whenever they know that they have to get back down to the speech, it goes like this. So yeah. And then they, you know what I mean? Like you can see it. You can see the nervousness. Everyone gets them, dude. Everyone gets the nerves. I promise you. And the more you challenge yourself and put yourself out there to get over those nerves, like that's just gonna make you feel better. It's gonna make you feel better about talking, and having a job at Brookshire's probably doesn't hurt either. You know what I mean? Because you gotta talk to people there, you know, and not people that you go to school with, not just your friends. So talk about that, man. What do you do at Brookshire's?
So I'm courtesy right now. It's basically just bagging, helping them out, and getting carts and stuff outside and doing chores. But they're planning on moving me to stocking, which, I mean, I'm all right with, but it's going to be different.
Okay, so what all consists of stocking?
So for the most part, like, I mean, it's called a day stalker, even though I'm going to be working most of the time at night shifts, but it's just like refilling all the waters, especially because those are always gone quick, especially with the deals. But then you just kind of go through the aisles, see what's low, and just stock it back.
Okay. And so like you said, it was a day stalker, right? That's the position, what it's called?
Yeah.
So like what hours? Is it any different hours than kind of what you're doing right now?
Well, they don't stay until 10, so I'm going to just be working 5-hour shifts after school instead if they move me there.
If they move you there. So like it would be what, 4 to...
It would be 4 to 9.
4 to 9. Okay. Yeah, because I know it's different. You have different schedules, like, and obviously we just came out of the summer, so you had the freedom to have a different schedule.
Yeah.
But with school being back in, it's different. So, does it pay anymore?
It's gonna pay like $1.50 or $2 more.
There you go, man. And like back when I was, first started working and stuff like that, people would tell me that, like, oh, it pays $1 more an hour. I I wouldn't slow my mind down enough to see how much more that is. You know what I mean? Like I don't have the same mind that I do now. Like now, like I would say, for instance, like let's just say that you got paid, because I'm going to keep it simple because I deal with math all the time and it's just easier for me. So let's say that if you start out a pay of $10 an hour, right? And if they get an increase of $1 an hour, then you got a 10% raise. You know what I mean? So for me now, knowing 10% raise is pretty good. You know what I mean? It is. Like a 10% raise is really good. So Walmart, you know, I worked there forever, right? I worked for Walmart forever. It's the same thing as far as raises for managers as it is for like hourly associates and stuff like that. When I say it's the same thing, I don't mean like they get paid the same amount. I'm saying it's about the same percentage increase every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do y'all get an evaluation over there? Like monthly, yearly? How does that work?
Like for raises?
Yeah.
I think they give one out like after 6 months, a year, and like so forth. But it's mainly just they give out more raises to like just learning more positions. So if they need a certain position, they can call you in for anything.
Man, so that's so true though. Like and doesn't that kind of make more sense? A little bit. Like I'm not saying that there shouldn't be some kind of pay for loyalty. You know, the longer you stay somewhere, the more you get paid. I'm not saying that, but like I think for so long, because I know working for Walmart and different companies and seeing other people work for different companies for so long, people thought they were just entitled, you know what I mean, every year to just get paid this huge increase every year just because they stayed. You know what I mean? And I would be lying if I said that I wasn't one of those people too. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. And I've already said that people should get an increase in pay. Absolutely. But here's the thing. It shouldn't just be like you get the maximum every year. You should earn your money. You should, that's how it is. It's a business. Just because it's a big company doesn't mean that it should change anything. You should get paid for what you're worth.
Yeah.
Right? Because you said it yourself. So like if you learn more, you get paid more. So give me examples like what you're talking about. Because you're talking about stocking. So what else? What else can you learn more and get paid more?
Well, I can't really like go to the pharmacy or like do produce stocking because that's for 18. But the other jobs that they were trying to put me as like cashier, self-check. But I don't know. I'm still thinking because it's just weird with the hours.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. My experiences, I would suggest that if you don't have to, I would say stay away from cashiering and stuff like that until you're like 18 or whatever. And here's like, and really, I'm not saying it has to be 18, but just till you've kind of had some experience with people in life. Yeah. My experience is what I did for a living is a lot of people try to like scam people, you know, at the registers, like to get you to look the other way, and they take the money out of the register or whatever. And it's just one of those things that you don't need that stress. You know what I mean? Yeah. If they don't need you there or whatever, then that's one of those things. Like I never liked being a cashier. I didn't like that stress of having to deal with that person like talking. And then my biggest thing that I hated back in the day was like if something went wrong. You know what I mean? At the register, like something rang up the different price or didn't have a barcode, or the person was arguing with me because it was a cheaper price on the shelf than it would ring up. Like, oh my gosh, I used to get anxiety because I got my feelings hurt so quick that I thought they were mad at me. And I think maybe they thought they were mad at me, but they were mad at the situation. Yeah. And I was clamming up. I just kind of, okay, let me call a manager. You know what I mean? Like that. So man, it can be nerve wracking. But also I think that had to do with me kind of coming out of my shell too, as being that cashier and stuff like that. All right. So how long have you been there? So when did you start at Brookshire's?
I started like, I want to say like somewhere in July, kind of. Well, no. Somewhere in May, I think. Yeah,
I was going to say it was about June. And again, you're going to know better than I did. So what school was still in, right? Wasn't it? Or like it was right at the end, wasn't it? So yeah, then it would have been in May. Yeah, it would have been in May because we got out at the end of May of school. So, okay. So it's been a few months. Like I'll tell you that me from a father standpoint, and I told you this, and I tell you this, I should tell you more because I don't remember the last time I told you. It's probably been a couple weeks, but I'm proud of you. You know that. Like, I'm super proud of you. That's something that you didn't have. No one said, like, I know I didn't. And I'm almost certain your mom didn't, right? Said you have to go right now and get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like, am I correct in saying that? Okay. Yeah. And again, because I feel like I have good communication with your mom. I truly do. But like, it's one of those things, like, we're not going to communicate every little thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you said, I want to do it. And you went out and you did it. You got a job. You work a lot, right? So like, I know during the summer, you had more flexibility and stuff like that, but now you're saying, I know you texted me the other day when I was asking you for your schedule, and you said pretty much now it's just Monday through Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Monday through Thursday, 4 to 9. Okay. See, I remember stuff that we talk about. So, so like, that's 20 hours a week, right? 20 hours a week. So you're probably going to be between 20 and 25, 30 hours a week or something like that during school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the one thing I'll tell you too, don't overdo yourself. You know what I mean? It's okay to say, I need to work less hours, you know, and hopefully they'll work with you on that. I would think that they would understand that, because they've, Jason, right? Jason's the store manager over there.
Yeah.
Jason's a good guy. I've known him for a while. He's a really good guy. And I think that he's been, a manager long enough to know that, like, you know, the kids that go to school and stuff like that, they, you know, if they need the time, more time to focus on their studies, then he's going to make sure that he gives it to you. So, all right, cool. So, all right. So now I want to talk to you about, this is your last year, right? This is your last year in high school.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Like, what's the difference between how you think the beginning of last year, or how you think the year went as a junior, now as a senior? Like, how's it feel?
I don't even really feel like a senior. I feel like it's just another year of school, but the more I think about it, I don't want to really leave it.
It's scary. It is, dude. Because, like, it's like the world saying you have to grow up.
Yeah.
That was a huge fear of mine. It was a huge fear of mine that, like, I felt like I didn't have, once I turned 18, I felt like the day I graduated, that, like, it was kind of like, and I'm really bad at analogies, but like, if you had a dog on a leash, right? You just let the leash go, and then the owner just walks away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And leaves you there to figure it all out on your own. That's not going to happen, dude. So, like, you know, we've talked about, like, but we haven't really talked about it in detail, but I feel like, and I know that you feel like as well, that we're so much better at communicating now, right?
Yeah.
So much better. But if I haven't, just know this, like, you're not all out on your own. You know that. Hopefully I shouldn't say you know that. I'm telling you that. Like, I got you, dude. Melinda's got you. Okay?
Yeah.
We got you. You're good. It's all good, man. It's scary though. So, all right. So what classes are you taking right now? Like this semester or whatever?
I have English for, I think it's finance, math. I'm taking ag. I'm a office aide for 4th period, and then I have like music appreciation right now, but I think I'm gonna switch it. It's just kind of a weird class. I don't really like it. And then I have lunch, and then after that it's, oh gosh, environmental science, and then economics.
Environmental science and economics?
Yeah.
Okay. Things have changed, man. Talking about some of those classes, I'm like, what? I mean, but I can't even remember when I was in school. What's your, like, and I get it, you only had how many days? 5 days of school? So what's like, so here, 2 different questions. What class do you feel the most comfortable in?
Environmental science.
Environmental science? Okay. What class do you think you're going to do the best in?
Probably finance, math.
Nah. There you go. Yeah, I'm all about it. But see, like, I could have said, what's your favorite class? And then you would have had to think about different things, right? and say, well, the teacher, well, the room, well, who's in there, right? Are my friends in there? What time is it during the day? Is it after lunch, before lunch? You would have done all that kind of thing and just kind of come up with which one makes you feel the best. But I think that we really need to look at it sometimes and kind of split it apart. But no, that's cool. So like, is it friends kind of thing in environmental science, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like friends in there, or like what about that one, like that room or that environment feels like cool?
Oh yeah, Jake and Nathan are in there too. I completely forgot about that. But the teacher's coach Townsend, he's been there since last year. He just came there, but I don't know. I just like being in his class because he kind of makes it pretty easy. And he was the powerlifting coach. I'm like pretty close with him. We talk and stuff.
Man, like I have a new appreciation for coaches. Like now that I'm seeing it from the other side, and coaches are pretty cool, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that they should automatically get the cool card. You know what I mean? Like I don't think anybody should. A coach, a teacher, a principal, mom, a dad. Like I think that a cool card is like, just something that you get, you develop. But that's really cool whenever I hear that there's coaches out there that are making connections and stuff like that. Because you could have said he made it easy, and I think that by made it easy, do you mean like he makes it easy to understand?
Yeah.
Man, I think that some people would have heard you say that and be like, oh, I don't have to do anything in that class. I just sit there and we just kind of mess around and talk or play on our phones or something like that, right? But I knew because I know you, and I wish I knew that coach, and I'm going to meet him. Okay. I'm going to meet him just so if we ever see him and stuff like that, just point him out, and I won't be awkward. I promise. I'll just go meet him. Okay. But I knew that what you meant by that was that he makes learning fun, or he makes it where it's easy to understand. And that's rare. You know what I mean? It is rare, and it's not rare, I think, as much in some schools that it is others, but that's cool. That's really cool. You make that connection with that dude. I'm definitely gonna have to meet him now. So I'm all like getting nervous myself, thinking because from a dude's, because is he my age or older?
I think he's your age, just about.
Okay, because like, is he a big dude?
Kinda.
Is he gonna be intimidating to me?
Probably not.
Okay, good. Because like I still, when I meet people for the first time, especially men, it's scary whenever I see these big coaches, because I'm like, he could crush me so easily. And I'm like, I'm hoping he doesn't find out about my back brace. And it's like, I can just bend him over and break. I get so scared. I did a podcast episode. I did 2 podcast episodes. I recorded them last week. I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that, both with coaches. And like, they both kind of intimidated me in the beginning, dude, when they first started working there. And now I'm like, I would love to be able to say this with more people, but like I have a really good relationship with both of these guys, so they're not scary, man. A lot of times the big ones are teddy bears, you know what I mean? So no, that's really cool, man. So you said what's the name of the math again?
Finance math.
So why is it you think that you're going to do better in that class?
I mean, it's really just kind of basic math in general, but I mean, I think I've kind of been worried about the future myself, so I like already have a good bit of research about like taxing and income and stuff like that, so I just think it will come easier.
No, that's cool. That's really cool. Probably because I was literally about to say something that wasn't going to be true. I'd say probably because you have 2 parents that are math teachers. 2 parents, I mean, Melinda and I, you know what I mean? We're both math teachers. But like, you don't like ask for us for help. And it's not that I don't think that you're scared to or nothing. It's just, you don't need it. You know what I mean? Like that's just one of the things I think that you just naturally feel better with. And that's fine. That's fine. And I honestly would say that you probably had a good teacher too at some point. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember like any teachers or like a math teacher that you were like, that one made it good for me?
I I don't know. It was definitely like some point in high school because middle school, the teachers kind of just gave you a paper and whatever. I mean, I was still good with it, and everyone else would like kind of ask me about it because I would always get good grades on it. But I don't think anyone in particular. I mean, like freshman year, I think his name was like Mr. Smith or something. I don't
That sounds
remember.
familiar. I've emailed him. I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he taught it really well, and he like, I mean, because whenever I do math, I don't really like showing my work. It's just kind of something that I just naturally do in my head, and he kind of he brought up the fact that like it's cool to know that you can do that, but especially whenever you get like junior, senior, college, you're gonna have to write down your work. So if you don't know what you did wrong, I mean, you can't go back and fix it.
There's so many students that are like you that want to do it in their head, you know what I mean? Because it's easier. And like, I was one of those. I got a failing grade. I got a 0 on a test when I was a sophomore in high school. I remember this. This is so weird. I haven't talked about this probably ever in my entire life because I just remembered it for the first time. I got a 0 on a test in sophomore math, whatever math that was, algebra 2. I don't know what it was, something. I just remember. And I got everything right. I got every single thing right, but I didn't show any work. I literally did everything in my head. And I don't remember the teacher like yelling at me or anything like that or like anything, but like I was upset. I was really upset because I remember the teacher walked up beside my desk, put it there, and put some force on the table. Like I say, some force. Like he didn't slam. I think it was a he or she. They didn't slam their hand on it or anything like that.
Yeah.
They just kind of put it down and it's like, this is what you got because, and it was in red ink. It says you didn't show any work, right? Man, like that's so weird. And like that upset me a lot. I don't know what the outcome was. I want to say that I'm sure that my mom talked to me about it and then I redid it and showed my work or something like that. I'm sure it was something like that. But I think a lot of teachers that maybe have, I'll say this. I think that I'm hoping that a lot more teachers are more open-minded now and understand that math can be solved in many different ways, right? Many different ways. And if we're going to say that that's true, then how come one of those different ways can't be up here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why is it okay that this person is allowed to do this other type of division instead of top and bottom out, right? And just because they showed they did it some way different and they got it right, why is that okay to do it different than the way the book says or the teacher said, as long as they got the correct answer? The only thing that's different is yours is up here, mine was up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, have you noticed one of the things that, and I don't do it to you as much when we're texting and stuff like that. Do you notice how I communicate now instead of text messaging and email? Have you noticed what that difference is? What is it?
You like doing voice?
I like to do voice. So all the people that I have built a relationship with or had a relationship with that I talk with on the phone, I either do it with a video recording or an audio recording. You know, like how much anxiety less I have right now inside doing that. Do you ever have that when you're typing a text message or answering somebody on a text or an email or however, and like you write it all down and you get mad at yourself and you erase some of it and write it down again, you change it and all this kind of stuff? Do you do that?
Yeah.
Man, all that time, all that anxiety, all that of you inside saying, I don't want them to think I'm dumb. I don't want them to think that I don't care. I don't want them to think that I'm mad. All those things, right?
Yeah.
That you're worried about. Guess what? When you talk, they can hear it in your voice. They can see it if you're doing a video. Man, like, so if I honestly think that should be involved in education as well. You know, the teacher says you got to show your work. Why can't I show my work through speaking it through what I did, right?
Yeah.
And then find a way to turn that in, because classes aren't on workbooks, pencil and paper anymore. What are they on? Chromebooks, Google Classroom, all this stuff. Then guess what you can do on those things? Attach a video, attach an audio, you know?
Yeah.
So the only thing that would be different is Like, obviously, you can't talk in the middle of class. How I got to answer number A on problem 4 was I did this and this and this, because then you're going to have Billy and whoever, Jennifer over here, whoever's in your room that is like, answer 4 is A. You know what I mean? So, but man, that's something to consider. I've never thought of that before. That's crazy. So, you're going to do great. You're going to do great your last year. You are. Just, your last year as a high schooler. It's not your last year in education, right? Like, I know we've talked about this, and here's the thing. It's okay if stuff changes. You know that. I've expressed that to you. I'm here to support you. So are you still thinking about going to Hill College next year? Or when you go to Hill College?
I have 2 things I'm thinking about now, but I mean, that's one of them. It's either I'm going to go there and then we'll get basics and then move to a bigger college just to finish out electrical engineering, or I'm going to go to TSTC and just get my electrician license.
Yeah. Like, you know what? That's so cool that this just shows you that I know it shows me. All I got to do is talk to you. You know what I mean? To find out what it is that you truly want and you truly are thinking. I don't need to talk at you. I need to talk to you. I don't need to say, you have to go here. You have to do this. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen. I don't have to do that. I can just talk to you and say, what do you want to do? And then just make sure I support you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's cool. Like, I had no idea what I wanted to do. You know what I had planned to do? Like, barely graduate. That was my idea. Graduate high school and then do whatever my parents tell me to do that they think's best, and I'll do that. You know what I mean? So, I have no more worries with you graduating high school. Like, you're, I'm not dumb, but you are definitely smarter than me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to give myself the credit I deserve, because I did graduate high school. I do have my bachelor's degree, right? I am a teacher, but like, I've seen what you're capable of doing, and you're going to be fine. Like, so I don't think that that's so much that, is that a concern of yours, like graduating?
No.
Or, okay. See, I'm super glad. That makes me happy knowing that. That makes me happy knowing that. So, what's scary? Like, I know that you talked about this just being last year and, having to go into life and stuff like that and be a grown up and all this kind of stuff. But like, what specifically, like, seriously, like, open book, tell me what's going on.
So, I don't know, like, after high school, I think that I'm just gonna kind of feel nervous in the moment, of course, but I think I'll kind of be more open-minded to it and just be accepting that I'm out and I'm growing up and I need to kind of think about what I need to do during high school so I can have it planned out and just be able to not stress whenever I'm out, really.
Yeah, I'm with you. So what do you want from me as a father this last year? Like, do you want my help planning stuff out, or do you just kind of want me to sit back completely and just, if you have a question, ask? Or what do you think? What do you need from me?
I think there's always room for like guidance and help, just because you've already been through it and you would have a better view on it. But I mean, I think it would either just be talking to you and planning it out, or just kind of seeing how it goes, but still talk to you about it.
And your mom,
Yeah.
And like, when I say that, like, cause you already know, I can't talk for your mom and Matt and Melinda. I can only talk for what I want to do. So no, I absolutely, like, I want to be involved in that fully. Okay. What do you think? Like, so we're talking about graduation. Graduation will be in May, I guess. I guess that's how they do it. Isn't graduation like right at the end of the year? Like, they don't wait or anything like that?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like start of July usually, because I remember being at work or whatever and hearing the like stuff over there at the football field on the speakers or whatever.
Okay.
But it was like somewhere early in July. It's like right after school, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like June. You mean June? Because May is at the end of school, so June.
Yeah.
So hey, so like maybe you have the months thing, the dates thing, like I do. I don't think you have it near as bad as I do, but okay. So graduation. So do you want to take the summer off, or do you want to get right into like college or whatever?
Well, either way, most colleges don't start until August, but
Yeah.
unless there's a way I can get in like at another time, and I'm not gonna wait like a year and 2 months. I'd rather just kind of take a break for 2 months and then go back into it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think I took the summer off. I think I did. I don't know. I think I did. I would suggest it because it's nice. You know what I mean? Because you normally would have took the summer off, right? You would have took it off between sophomore to junior, junior to senior. Mm-hmm. So it kind of, it gives you that nice thing that you're used to, but also it gives you that time to kind of, I don't think plan. I think a lot of that you're going to have time for before you graduate, like plan for when you want to start, what classes you're going to take. But you have time to just like, I think realize like it's going to be okay. Yeah. Like, let me get a few things out of the way. Like, if there's something you want to do, like, if you want to go do something, I will support you. You know what I mean? Like, backpack in Europe, I don't know. That's kind of expensive. You know what I mean? Because, like, I know that you see that on movies and stuff. Oh, we're going to go backpack in Europe for the summer. We're going to walk through Paris and Italy. We're going to hike in the mountains of the Himalayas. And, like, they do all this kind of stuff. And, like, that's just not real life. Now, if you really wanted to, I know if you really wanted to, you would have said something like as a sophomore and junior, and you know that 100% would have been like, all right, let's start saving. Let's figure it out. Mm-hmm. But is there something like that that's like you're thinking, oh, I wanted to go do something cool?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of see myself wanting or like kind of planning something out with Colorado just because I like how chill it is. But
like you and friends or just you or?
Well, it's either friends or I'm going to go with Nani and Cole just because she was planning something for after our graduations, just taking us somewhere.
That's cool. That's cool. But hey, if you want to do something else, like if you want to do something else with me, with us, with just your friends, with just you, just let me know. We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We will. Because like that's exciting and fun, dude. It's because like the little things you get to experience as an adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get to go to Walmart on vacation and buy my groceries or buy these things knowing that I'm now an adult and I'm on vacation. It's just little weird things to me. But no, that's cool, man. That's cool. So you take the summer off, do a couple things over the summer, stuff like that. I know you talked with me the other day and know this, that I know you and your mom talked too. Like when y'all were talking about like when you were going to college and where to stay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know, and that's awesome because like, it's awesome to know that you're comfortable to talk to me about it. And also to know that you're comfortable to talk to your mom about it. Mm-hmm. But again, things change, right? Like just like you coming in here a second ago and you said that now thinking it could be TSTC, right? Or it could be Hill College. That's fine. So has that kind of changed too? Like as far as, because you'd mentioned that you wanted to kind of stay here while you went to college in Hill College. So is that kind of the same thing or what's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I still see myself doing it, especially with TSTC. It's a little bit closer and there's just more job opportunity here and like just kind of more people I could power wash for if that I'm still doing that by the end of this or school year, which I definitely see, but it's just more than just a little small town. I'm
with you. Like I try not to get emotional because you know what it means to me, right? Like I know what it means to you. And that makes perfect sense. It is closer to where you need to be for things, right? Like even if it's Walmart, right? Even just that you have a store that you can go to pick up something that you might need that any store in Whitney wouldn't have, right? Or the hardware stores or whatever, right?
Yeah.
but it's close to I-35. So if you needed to go to Waco quickly, it's right there, you know? So I get that. Like, to me, like, it's just, I get emotional because it's like, you're with your mom most of the time. You know what I mean? You live with your mom most of the time. And, I just, I've been so scared that you turn 18, and it has nothing to do with you. It's just, I always think of the worst situation.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to turn 18 and I wouldn't see you really again. Because right now there's a contract that's signed by you and your mom, by your mom and I and a judge, that says you have to come right now, every other weekend, or, you know, first, third, fifth weekend, and split holidays. But there won't be a legal contract. And it's not that I don't know who you are and what you want. It's that, again, worst case scenario. And that I was afraid that I would do something to upset you where you wouldn't want to come and see me anymore, and us anymore. And I feel really bad for thinking that, because I know you would not do that. I just love you so much.
Love you too.
Your mom has done an amazing job with you. I know there was times that I was selfish and I wanted, I just thought I deserved, like, I wanted more time with you.
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason, and I'm super proud of you. And I've said this about other people in my life recently, but like right now, I know that you have been a huge difference in who I am as a person, definitely as a father, by just opening up to me a lot more over the past few years.
Yeah.
By telling me stuff you're afraid of, telling me stuff that I need to be a better father at. You remember that day when I pulled you and Madison into the dining room table, and I said, all right, so I said, I promise not to get mad. I said, I need this from you. I need you to give me this. And I said, what do I need to do better as a father? That was hard, man. That was hard. And I think that, I don't remember if you said anything specific. Did you remember saying anything specific? I know Madison did.
No, I don't think so.
I remember Madison said I need to stop farting on her. And no, I don't know if she said that. But she said that I needed to listen more. I remember that. She said that, I do remember that with her. She said I need to listen more, because she told me some stuff that happened when she was in 5th grade in Hillsboro. She told me when it happened that year. And I don't think that I really listened to her.
Yeah.
I didn't. Do you kind of remember that conversation? I know that we try not to involve y'all too much in each other's, like, stuff like that. Like, it's not that we don't trust you or nothing like that, but we want to show y'all your each respect and listen to y'all as a parent. And, you know, sometimes y'all don't feel comfortable with the other sibling in the room. But she said some stuff, and she told me back then what happened when she was in 5th grade, and kind of some things. And I didn't listen. I mean, I think I listened, but I thought also at the same time, this is just goofy Madison telling me something else that that she's just in her feelings about, you know what I mean? And then, so it was about a year ago whenever I had that conversation with you and her at the table, and I said, tell me what I need to do better. And that's when she said, you need to listen better. And then it was a few weeks after that I went up to her and I said, hey girl, like, I feel like that there was something that happened back when you were going to school in Hillsboro that you told me about, and I don't feel like I did a good job listening. And she told me what happened again, right? Yeah. And she told me all the details, and Melinda showed me stuff on her phone, I think, like pictures or messages or something. Anyways, there was something that was shown that I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And I remember what it was now. It was videos. But she told me that, and then I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I apologized to her tremendously, and I told her, and I think I gave her a commitment that I'm going to do better, and I'm going to listen. And I said, I think I asked her, I was like, you just got to tell me when you're being silly. You know what I mean? When you're telling me that you just saw that Moby Dick just surfaced on in Colorado with Bigfoot holding it above his head. Like, if you tell me you saw that on TikTok, I'm not going to believe it, and I'm going to think it's silly. But I told her she needs to tell me when there's something serious that she wants to talk about, so I know kind of who I'm talking to, if it's Goofy Madison or if it's, this is serious Madison. So anyways, yeah, like, y'all have helped me tremendously, but I think you more than really, I can remember times that I was like, man, I'm glad Micah told me that. And a lot of times it was in my Jeep, right? Yeah. Whether like I picked you up from your mom's house or whatever, and we're on the way back or the way there, and you told me some stuff and I told you some stuff, and it was like, wow, like I'm glad that we had that conversation, you know, because it's safe. Like I feel like that as long, like, there should be some level of, there should always be a level of father and son, right? Always. Yeah. But when you get to a certain age, like, you deserve more freedoms, but those freedoms shouldn't be how well I listen. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to earn how well I listen to you. I should always listen to you. And that's something I wish I would have done probably earlier in life, but hey, I can't go back in time, and I'm glad I am who I am now. So, thank you, Micah. First of all, thank you very much for being who you are, you know? All right. So I want to kind of get to a point where we're wrapping this up, but I don't want that to be what I'm telling you, that you can't ask me stuff. You can't talk to me. No, because I know that you're younger and I know who you are. And like you even said that, like, speaking and presenting is kind of nervous. Dude, yeah. There's 4 cameras on us right now with 2 microphones. You know what I mean? And you're doing fine. But I also know that I'm not going to just say, hey, Micah, talk. And then you're just going to get bottled up and, you know, and realize what's going on. But man, like, what is there anything you want to talk about? Like, and who cares that there's video cameras, and who cares and all that kind of stuff?
Like, so recently I was talking to the counselor or whatever at school, because I was not really worried about, like, schoolwork and, like, I was worried about, like, how I was going to get schoolwork with having work right after and just not being able to really do anything at home. But I was looking into, like, either doing dual credit classes on, like, my alternative classes so I could be done sooner, so I could have the rest to work and try to save up more. Or I was gonna look into a program that they have that's called Academy, and it's just like online for 4 hours, and then you have the rest of the day.
Yeah. So I know that me and your mom texted a little bit last week. Like, did she tell you that we texted and talked a little bit?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And the only reason why I ask you that is I'm not trying to put the spot on you or on her or anything like that. I just know that from my experience, we all communicate really well. It's just me and you might talk here, and then you and her talk about what we talked about here. You know what I mean? And then vice versa. So, but yeah, no, I'll support you in anything you want to do. Okay. Anything you want to do. Also understand something. I'm going to respect your mom, you know what I mean? And what she thinks is best for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like 100%. So I'm not. We'll we'll talk about it some more and stuff like that. But have you like you're dead set on like, oh, I definitely want to do this? Like, is that kind of somewhere you've really thought about?
I mean, I kind of want to make the decision soon, but I don't really have anything yet.
And I'm super proud of you in saying that. You know what I mean? Because like you could have easily just said, well, I really want to do this. This is what I really want to do. And here's why. And here's like, you know what I mean? But your answer was, I think I want to make the decision pretty soon or really soon. Right? There you go. And that's the thing, communicating. Because again, you got the support you need. You got the support you need. We've just got to hear it from you. You know what I mean? And it needs to be true. I think that other people might tend to hold back if they were in that situation, but I know that you're going to be open and honest with us, and you're going to tell us exactly why. And guess what? There's not a ranking on what should be important to you is the same ranking is important to us. You know what I mean? So whatever the reasons is, if that's the best situation, we're going to do the best thing for you. Okay, absolutely, because it's you. You're being an adult. Start to make decisions. You know what I mean? It's okay to start making those decisions. It's completely fine. So, all right. What else?
I don't know.
Don't know, or just don't want to talk about it?
I don't really have anything.
No, that's cool. And that's in that like, but that's what I told you, and that's what I told Gabby earlier, right? Is when she asked me like, what do you want to talk to him about, or all that kind of stuff, just asking questions. And I was like, man, I really don't think about that. You know, I know that there's some things I wanted to talk to you about, and you know, I was doing stuff yesterday. You were doing stuff yesterday. You know what I mean? So like, we didn't get a chance to fully catch up, but we would have had this conversation anyways. It's just now we get to have it like uninterrupted. You know what I mean? Instead of like Hunter coming in here, not wearing underwear, or like wanting to give hugs or whatever, you know, or grab your arm so you can go unlock the refrigerator so he can get more tea or watermelon, you know? So, it's just, it's really cool. And it's awesome because Melinda, she's there and she'll take care of Hunter and everything else that's going on right now, because she knows that this is important. And it's super important, man, because it's you. It's important because you are the one that came to me and said, it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. You said, I want to do this. Like, this wasn't something I said, Micah, please do it. I need viewers. No, it wasn't that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was, you came up to me in the living room. I think that's where it was. And you said, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I'm like, all right, cool. And you're like, hey, I think I want to do a podcast episode. And I'm like, absolutely. And as soon as you left, I was like, yes, the precious. No, I was super happy, man. So, all right. No, we don't have to. Like, that's the thing. We're at time anyways. We're probably a little bit further time. I'm surprised Melinda hasn't barged in there and said, y'all need to stop talking. We got to get ready to go. But no, man. So you good? All right. So, this is cool. And thank you so much for doing this with me. And let's end this and try not to get yelled at or in trouble. All right. All right. I love you. Can I have a hug? Okay.
Ready, set, go bananas.